Can you hear me? You're connecting to audio.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Xavier.
How's it going?
Can you hear me? Yes. It's good to see
Connecting to
you
audio.
in the new year.
Yes. It's a little echo. Good afternoon.
Oh, oops.
Oh,
Sorry.
what was that? Okay, hold on.
Good to
Give me
see
1 second,
you.
okay?
Okay.
Give me one.
So, Fernando, if you have any questions about the session, definitely put it in the WhatsApp, and we'll talk about it. Okay. So this should be the event. Should be the meeting that after this meeting we should be kind of. It's all putting into action at this point. So we're waiting on Xavier now.
All right.
Great, wonderful. It's good to see you in the new year, Xavier.
Yeah, same to you.
Happy New Year.
Likewise. Happy New Year. I forgot this was our first meeting after the New Year.
We're just moving, man. We're just moving. Um, uh, so you read Fernando's email, I assume.
Yes, I did.
Um, so he will be able to catch our feedback during the YouTube live. We're live right now. So after we
Oh, cool. Oh, I see that live on YouTube. Wow.
right, and so this is just a really good way of afterwards you can kind of see what the audience is going to see,
Hmm.
and also if he for him if he needs to see it, it's there for him too as
Gotcha.
well. I looked at both of your feedback for the 12 B for B12.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you, I'm theming this conversation uh, on kind of like the interaction that we're probably going to get, the engagement, the relatability. Um, I'm all, again, we both align with each other when it comes to kind of like the B for B expansion, reintroducing the B for B expansion, which is your
Hmm.
initiative. And so for me, um, we're kind of like we're on the same page as far as structure. We just need to now go in detail on what we're talking about now, right?
Right.
So I have both you and Fernando's email right here. So for the invites, we'll go section by section. So for
Okay.
the invite, you suggested Zoom, Google Form, Hobnob, and in Evite. What is Hobnob?
Okay, so those were just a few different things that I was just putting ideas out there. So Hobnob is actually kind of like an invitation software where you're able to have all of, like the communication within there from their all the way from their phone number to their email. It creates the dates for them. You're able to see the RSVPs, the change in RSVP, all that kind of stuff like that.
Ooh, that sounds pretty cool. For invite, so you can actually see it's live whenever they want to change it.
Right.
Okay. Google Form was something that I wanted to use, but I'm open to when it comes to for them RSVPing.
Hmm.
I'm not really kind of like I don't really care how we do it, just as long as we send it through email. Google
Right.
Form, I was thinking um Microsoft Forms. I really like how Microsoft is. Microsoft Forms, which is the same thing as Google, but
Hmm.
kind of like the format of it. It really doesn't matter to me.
I've never
Eva,
used the Microsoft one before. I didn't even know they had one.
see, I didn't know they had it either until I started looking into all the Microsoft software that they have,
Hmm.
and it's really nice. It's really nice. I have to I'll actually show you if we do decide to go with Microsoft Forms. I'll actually show you what that looks like.
Okay.
Evite, um, I don't really care for Evite because
Yeah, me either. I was just the last thing I wanted to put on there.
and Zoom is more sports, more so like for an intimate situation. We'll discuss. We'll discuss that one.
So I remember that's something that Fernando had recommended from last meeting. That's why I included it there.
Yeah, he put it on his too as well. Schedule Zoom links with session title. We'll discuss because that's part of the one of the series situations.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about the outline of it.
Okay.
So Fernando, whenever you were talking about the reintroduction of brother for brother and future plans, um, that's typically what we do all the time. Um, the reintroduction of of brother for brother and future plans. Remember, we're not really a part of the B for B chapter anymore. So we're part of the
Right.
mastery circle. So it would make sense for us to talk about the future of what B for B is,
Right.
as far as alumni. So um, the series one, that's going to be. I have an idea for that, um, but I wanted to know what you thought about that first. What did you think about what series one would look like?
So I really didn't think about it too much in detail because I wasn't sure what route we were trying to take with it. I knew the ultimate goal was to make sure we had something that was going to be catching to the audience for sure, and also what is the purpose of the series, so that way they know what they're getting into.
So I agree with you. I was thinking that this is just throwing the idea out there, and Fernando can agree or disagree. But
Hmm.
I'm thinking since Fernando is the host of it,
Hmm.
I think that you and I should be on the panel. It should be like a panel discussion situation, talking about B for B, the expansion of B for B, the vision of B for
Hmm.
B. I'm not. I was thinking at first, Xavier. I was thinking, oh well, Xavier and I can just present the PowerPoint that we did for the President's Dinner, but I
Hmm.
didn't know if that was going to be attractive. So I thought, well, what if Fernando came up with some questions for us
Hmm.
and we just had a conversation like this? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting people excited about kind of like the vision of B for B12, getting people excited about kind of like what we're trying to do. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then also trying to get people excited about life after B for B12, which is um, the alumni situation.
Right.
So um, that was something that I was thinking about. What about you?
Yeah, I think that works perfectly. I like the idea of doing the panel thing, um, especially since we know the bulk of the information of what the vision would look like. Um, I mean, then again, Fernando is, the host of everything. So I think it all comes down to what he's going to be comfortable with and what he can actually handle going into that being the first pre-recorded and how that's going to look. Because I mean, there's definitely room um, to be flexible with this because it is a pre-recorded, but I definitely don't want us to spend, too much time either trying to come up with something and we still need time to perfect it, um, and different things like that.
So um, I think what's going to make this, again, I know it's pre recorded, but the one thing that I really like about the series that's going on with this is that it's organic.
Hmm.
So normally, Xavier, we have full control from start to finish.
Right.
We need to be able to give that responsibility to Fernando.
Right.
Give it to him, let him work his magic with it. Now, that's very big. That's a big situation, but it's just what it is. So this is kind of like, so Fernando, this is our vision for what this is. This is what we're looking for. He's gonna have to come up with those questions. He's gonna have to look, he's gonna have to do his research as a host, and he's gonna have to be able to present that to us,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
It's up to you, Fernando, Xavier, to bring what you're gonna bring to the table. What is the
Hmm.
vision for B and things of that nature? And then myself, the same. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't have
Definitely.
to worry about the both of us. We don't have to worry about what either of us is going to say. I don't think we disagree with each other too much on things.
Right.
What are you thinking?
I think I definitely agree with that. I think it's so it comes down to now being able to give that information to Fernando of what the vision is for the reintroduction of the mastery circle, being able to give him those materials to dive deeper into what we already have. That's
Right.
basically what we're doing here because we've already started to introduce this. This has already been brought up, through social media platforms and such. Now, Fernando, what he's doing is just diving deeper so he can actually see the meat and not the skin.
Right. So, I mean, that's going to be responsible. I want to emphasize to Fernando that it's just going to be his responsibility to really bring it as the host. Um, you know, obviously myself and Xavier will provide the vision behind each series, right? But as far as organically, like just putting it out there and it's going to be showtime. When it's showtime, it's showtime. And I see it as a big risk, but we're putting people on the platform that we trust. And when I put my trust into something, I put my trust into something. So Fernando just needs to bring it. Fernando just needs to bring it. Okay, so we
I think
kind of
it's very
got,
much capable.
yes. So Fernando, that's kind of, are we going to go with that, Xavier?
Yes.
Okay. So, um, let's talk about the second series. So
Okay.
um, we agree on Robert Harper. Robert Harper is going to be extended an invite after this.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mental health. I think that's a really good topic for. I think Fernando mentioned that. I think that's a
Hmm.
really good topic. I
I think I
wanna.
did like that as well.
Mhm.
Just
I
something
want-
different apart from everything else. Just coming back to really just focusing on that, apart from everything else that's going on, throughout the past year. I think that's definitely a good topic to drill into to bring everybody together.
yes. So Fernando, that was a really good idea to put out there. So once we confirm Robert,
Roberto, whoa.
once we confirm a Robert Harper, we need to already come as a full package. So what does
Hmm.
this mean? This means that we need to already have some type of window frame when we want this to, well, we did say live. Let me introduce my idea.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking majority of B4B is Hispanic right now. On our social platform, it's Hispanic. We have a very big Hispanic base as far as B4B. And
Hmm.
so a lot of my conversation is going to deal with race because that's what's happening with B4B. We've shifted into Hispanics and we've been with Hispanics for a while now. And one of the things that I really want to do is find the balance of relatability. So, whereas I know that, and it's not always the case, but I know that Robert is going to be very attractive when it comes to African American men. I know that. I know he's going to be very attractive. He's going to be very, and he's going to be very relatable in that sense.
Hmm.
I want to bring a Hispanic male to the table too as well.
Okay. I
Um,
agree.
the person that I choose, that I want to, not that I choose, that I want to see if you guys agree with,
Hmm.
does not necessarily uh, has fit. He's a former president of Brother for Brother. He's my
Yeah, I
predecessor,
know
actually.
exactly who you're talking about.
Me and him don't have the same vision for B4B. We don't. Totally different. But I trust him and I really genuinely admire him. And
Hmm.
he is another just a great representative of what Lone Star College is. He graduated from Sam Houston the same year you did with SFA, and he's about to go to Baylor for his master's program. Um,
Awesome.
and he has a story, Joel Silva, and he's the B4B
Advisor.
advisor at this current moment.
Yes.
And so I think that he would be really attractive to our Hispanic males, um, as far as Lone Star College, and even the younger ones too as well. So what I'm thinking about is not just our alumni base, but the ones currently active right now. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So what are your thoughts, Xavier?
I guess now I'm more so concerned about um timing and relatability. Because half of me is thinking to have them on the same panel type deal, and then the other half of me is having doing half and half, 20 minutes and 20 minutes. Um, because then again, I do want to be considerate of people's time, but then I don't want us to lose people either, beginning or the end.
So um, so I thought about that too as well, and you're right. So Robert um, deserves a platform of itself. He deserves a certain amount of. I was thinking about live. I was thinking about like the whole panel situation,
Mm-hmm.
but they both are very good speakers.
Okay.
I was thinking that it should be. I don't. This is. I'm up in the air with this.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to be respectful of everyone's time and not go through logistics as much logistics, then the um the series two would have to be pre-recorded
Mm. Why do you say that?
because if we do now the only way that we could do live,
Mm-hmm.
is if Robert and without any logistics behind it, is if Robert and Joel go at the same time. But I think that they deserve their own platform. So their own 30 set of 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think and I know you're like be respectful of the right time, but it would be different. It's just it, I've seen them both speak. You've seen them speak.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Joel speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Robert can bring it. He can keep people for 30 minutes. I was thinking doing an hour. Now, this is where things get a little bit kind of iffy if we're going to do that or not.
Mm-hmm.
We need like some good video editing. What I mean by that is like transition slides. So, meaning like a whole, like little 5 second situation of the B for B logo at the beginning, right? B for B12 transition into Fernando um with Robert. And then obviously once they're done with that, transition into Joel Silva or continuing on. Now maybe that is way too long. Maybe that's a whole situation. I don't know. But I was thinking of it as like an actual like event. Again, that's up in the air. I don't care either way we go. But
I definitely see what you're saying there. I feel like that could still be done live, kind of like how we share our screen on here.
so I was doing research on that. I was doing research on that. And you need a whole lab. You would need a whole entire lab of software, and we would have to be damn good. And I don't know none of that. I don't know none of it. I don't know. It would have to be literally, it would be us in the background. Fernando's on, and we're working with these softwares in the background switching. It's a whole situation. So
Oh
we
man.
have to go with it,
Hmm.
but we don't have to go with the idea. But I do think that it can be pulled off, even if it's, I think it can be pulled off and it can be pulled off very well because of the speakers that we have.
Right, and I feel like doing this live with these speakers as well is going to give it a more natural feel to the audience as well, rather than it being pre-recorded. Obviously, there's been edits. Obviously, there's been things that have been filtered out. Giving them this live platform, it's unfiltered. Um, it's real, natural, which also comes to back to Fernando as a host to be able to really have control of that as well, of the things that are being said, comments that are made. Um, but it's going to give rawness to the audience, and they're going to like that.
Okay. So this is so okay. So that's what with Fernando's feedback too as well. But I think I know what you're saying. So
Hmm.
you want to keep it live.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do live, then we're going to. What I would suggest that we do is we bring Robert on
Hmm.
and Joel on.
Hmm.
We expand the time. I'm suggesting that we expand the time.
Okay.
I don't think 30 minutes is enough for the two of them. I think
Okay.
that first of all, Robert's going to bring an audience with him.
Hmm.
That's how I see it. I see it as Robert's going to already bring an audience with him,
Hmm.
especially if it's live. People are going to just be there just to support it. Then you have Joel. He can bring the B for B chapter with him, and
Hmm.
whoever else wants to support him. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then we have a Hispanic and we have a Black male. People are going to tune into that.
Hmm.
Do we want to expand the time past 30
I'm
minutes?
thinking, um, I'm thinking about 45 minutes. Um, let me think about this. I feel like an hour is really pushing it, but I think it all comes down to what Fernando's goal is here and what he's trying to produce, um, with the information relating to mental health, goal setting, and purpose, etc. What exactly is Fernando's goal here? What is he trying to get out of them?
So let's have a conversation about it now.
Hmm.
So again, we want to talk about, I think that mental health is a big discussion on the table. I think like um, I want to explore the reason why I want this type of diversity is because on the education side, I want to check off the box of the conversation of Black and brown men graduating from
Okay.
college. And kind of hearing their stories too as well. So mental health, Black and brown men graduating from college, whatever other topics that we want to talk about, but also the importance of brother for brother, the importance of staying together beyond B for B, which kind of leans into into the alumni. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So again, I'm talking about some like real life conversation
Hmm.
on the education side. Yes, I do want to explore the Black and brown men graduating, resources, equity, equality, all that good stuff. But then also I want to go into that mental health, where they are now, kind of like their struggles, what they went through, things of that nature. Why did they join B for B? One of the things that Robert Harper says is what motivated him to be a motivational speaker was because he went to a Black male summit. We call that the all male summit during your time. The
Hmm.
Black male summit, there was a speaker that he was so inspired by that this man has dedicated almost 10 years of his life afterwards to just being a motivational speaker. And he's come a very long way. I think that's huge. That's big.
Hmm.
Like that one moment in B for B shifted his whole freaking purpose in life. And then you have Joel, who is um, he's an immigrant, right? And so he has a story too as well. The lack of resources and things of that nature. So for me, I'm like, that would be amazing for them to be vulnerable on that screen and talk about So we would have to come up with basically some topics, I think, that Fernando, you too as well, can explore into with them.
Just an idea. A few things that I've already, brainstormed in my head. Basically, being able to make everything tie back into mental health and still be related to brother for brother as well. Being able to start off with, of course, introducing themselves and really just starting off with mental health, with how their mental health was through their childhood and how that transition as they entered brother for brother. Being able to express the importance of mental health um, through college as a minority and and life after. Hmm.
Come on with the topics.
And how mental health has been for them post college or even just starting their career in general. And then also just within the past year with the pandemic and COVID going on, how have they maintained their mental health and what advice they can give to these minorities, males, as they move forward
Mm-hmm.
into this new year.
Um, all of that, Fernando. All all of that, like everything that he said, that is very good. That is very good. We need to have that documented though,
Mhm.
so that when we do extend the invite,
Yes, they will know what exactly they'll be discussing and they won't be caught off guard because
right,
this is live. We don't want anybody embarrassed on live.
right. So you and me are on the same page when it comes to just organicness. So we're putting it all out there. So two things it can it can completely flop or it can completely be successful. And I think it's going to be successful.
I believe so.
So I did not understand y'all's exam. I didn't understand the third series. Get it? So both of y'all align with each other. Maybe I'm slow. I'm getting older. Okay, I'm getting older. Y'all both align with the whole mastery circle invite, and I didn't get it. We have in our conversations, we're not focused right now. We're not focused on the attendance. And I cannot, and I'm not, and I can't vote for us risking being on live and waiting on questions and answers, and there's nobody that shows up. I'm just not in the business of that. I don't like it.
I think what the vision was to collect those questions um, throughout time from each series to be able to come back in the end and wrap up, clear any confusion, answer anything that people were curious about. That I think that's where we were really going with that, and be able to do that Q&A live, and also be open to even more questions as well.
So you want to, so for the third series, you want, so for each series, we're going to gather whatever questions that they may have. And
Right.
then for the last series, we're going to be able to answer it or whatnot and do whatever.
Hmm. But I think that series is also needed to be able to give that outlook for brother, and in regards to the mastery circle, in some way that we can not straightforwardly have an invite, but hint an invite of being in the mastery circle somehow, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because the ultimate goal is to be able to move forward with the mastery circle after this 12 year is over, being able to build the mastery circle but we need to gain interest as well at the same time.
Um, um, what is the meeting past? Okay. Um, so, okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So I'm thinking, Xavier, um, that there should be presentations of specific slides. My suggestion for the third series. So you probably talking more since you want to kind of wrap that thing up with the alumni situation. That you start going into detail, and even you can introduce that. Well, not the presentation, but in your talk at the first series. But in the third series, you kind of go in detail about kind of each section. You know what I'm talking about, like you already want to have in place kind of how people are going to apply.
Mm-hmm.
The reviewing process, you want to have a timeline, things of that nature. And you want to kind of talk about the structural part of what B4B is. You get what I'm saying? What the alumni
Right.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just come as a full package with it.
Right.
They know what to expect. So by that time, you should have already kind of had a timeline of how things are going to go moving forward. With reviewing processes, who's going to be on the committee for reviewing. Well, you don't have to put that in there, but you'll have that in the background. But I'm saying kind of like how they will apply and things of that nature, and the specific positions that are in the alumni committee.
Right.
So,
Some of that.
huh?
So I definitely like the sound of that. But I know I also want to make sure I want to make sure that we're still getting the vision of what Fernando was seeing for that last series, because again, he is the host, and I want to make sure we're still producing and coming together in what
So,
we're trying to accomplish.
what was his vision?
I mean, we don't know.
I don't know what his vision was. So that's the key to this, right? So Fernando, the beautiful thing about you and your position that you're in is that once it's showtime for you. And you can catch us on camera and say whatever you want, and we're just gonna have to go with it because we're live at that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what that is. And now obviously we can control pre-recorded, but he's whatever vision that he has in place, and obviously hoping that you will discuss with us and trusting that you will discuss with us before. It's kind of like the ball's in your court. So but again, Xavier, this B4B12 is really designed with the idea that you presented in the president's dinner.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So there's not much kind of like room that we can move with this beyond what you have detailed from last year.
Right.
I've canceled out the idea of we're not recruiting in B4B no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's not our jobs. It's
Mm-hmm.
not we're not doing that.
Right.
It's going to be up to Joel and whatever he decides to do with B4B. But for this, we're just solely focused on the mastery circle. Now, again, obviously, there's no mastery circle without the inner circle, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we're just gonna have to
But the
check
mastery circle will be affected by the inner circle.
because we don't have. If you think
I mean,
about
the
it,
inner circle is gonna, you know what I meant.
and if you think about it, like honestly, we don't even have currently an active outer circle. So we're gonna be affected in some type of way. But that is the vision
Mm-hmm.
of the alumni and how they communicate with the inner circle when that time comes. You get what I'm saying? But that's
Mm-hmm.
not, I don't believe that's the vision for this. That's the vision for whatever the alumni decide to do with the inner circle whenever they get there. When it gets to that point.
Right.
All right, so we have last 20 minutes of this. So Fernando agrees with the promotional situation. So what are your ideas for a promotional video? Should we do a promotional video or um, should we just announce what's going to happen and then bring it and then do the series?
Mm-hmm. I think with the promotional video, maybe it doesn't have to have like a speaking in it, but more so words and graphics. But I know that's definitely time consuming, but I think that's more so it's just something that's going to be eye catching to them. You know, different things within the video that's highlighting what's going to be discussed. You know, what's going to be happening. You know, guest speakers that we're going to have, um, our panels, all the things like that. Um, oh my goodness, what is that?
Right.
Is that how I look? I look rough.
uh, Continue. I'm hearing you.
Right. So let's see. I know there's a couple softwares that we could use. I just can't think of the name on the top of my head. Something that'll be quick for us to produce something. Um, and being able to post that video on all social media platforms, I really want to know if there's a way that we can gain access to the Brother for Brother Instagram and Twitter, because that would be very beneficial to us to be able to get that posted there. Just to gain us a larger audience, because as we know, people who are essentially part of the mastery circle are still connected to those accounts, as I know I am. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm aware that we have a Snapchat, a Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah. I have access to the Facebook, but not the Instagrams and stuff like that. Because I don't know how you would get I don't know how you would get access to those platforms. The only thing that we really have, I mean, to advertise that was proven to be successful was the spreadsheet that we did for the 10-year anniversary that has all of the all of the everybody's stuff on there. Were you on mute?
Yeah. But is there not a way for us to try to get in contact with people that may have access to it, just so they can? I mean, even they can just post it themselves. I'm not saying that we just need to have access to it, but some way to reach those people that are on those platforms, that are connected to those social medias, that are going to see the content.
Um,
Even if it's simple as maybe we need to just DM or direct message those accounts and see who has it.
I'm pretty sure they graduated. I get what you're saying.
Definitely hoping they passed it down then.
Yeah.
I think
'Cause,
that was the
well,
issue.
huh? What'd you say?
And so that might, I think that was the issue as well, it being passed down. And I mean, I haven't seen any content since a year ago.
So yeah, that's one thing that B4B needs to do better at is documentation.
Hmm. No, that
Um,
was very huge back when we were
right.
in our positions.
It was very big. Um, so here's the thing. Um, for the, you know, we could pull this off without, I mean, even if we can, I'm not gonna strain myself trying to get those accesses to the
Hmm. Right.
to thingamajigger because it's connected to personal Gmails and stuff like that. And then yeah, it's just a lot. So we can attempt to do that, but we have a whole list of people,
Definitely.
that over 100 that we can invite for this. So
Hmm.
really, I know Fernando was really big on the inboxing on Facebook, and you know we can still do that, but I'm really big on the emails. Really getting emails, advertising through email, really pushing it.
Hmm.
Um, oh, we need to determine. This is another thing we need to determine. I almost flipped up.
Hmm.
What platform for series two? So, what platform is it going to be? YouTube or is it going to be Facebook Live?
Can we do YouTube
I think.
and still put it on Facebook? I mean, because I mean, all you have to do is post the link to
The whole.
from YouTube to Facebook.
Okay, so let's break it down. So
Hmm.
I don't think you can do that. I think we could. You could. You could put your link. I think you could put the YouTube link on
Hmm.
there and everybody
Right.
would look at it. We could do that. So as soon as
Hmm.
they go onto a live session, we just need to put the YouTube links on the social media
Right.
platform. I think the YouTube, I actually vote for YouTube. YouTube just has access. Everyone has access to it. Not everybody, maybe someone in B4B doesn't have access to the Brother for Brother pages, right?
Hmm.
So I think that YouTube is a really universal platform. I think you said that. Didn't you say that?
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, I agree. So, I think YouTube should be the way to go. For, I vote for both sessions.
So does that bring us to creating a YouTube channel type deal for the Mastery Circle, or whose YouTube will we be streaming through?
We can, we can see if we can create a B for B. I don't want to create nothing else B for B.
I mean, hey, it gotta be done, gotta be done.
So, Okay, so I need to think quickly because I can't be hesitating on this. Okay, so
Gotcha.
um, yes, so you that will be on your part. So create the B for B alumni um, Gmail,
Okay.
Mastery Circle Gmail. It will be titled the Mastery Circle Gmail. And um, we need to test, we need to create a Zoom account, and we need to make sure that we can go live on a general account. This account is my UHD Zoom account, right? So it is attached to my well no. I could log into I can log into any Gmail account. So no, we could still go live on the B for B. We don't have to worry about that. In other
There
words,
you have it.
we have it covered. All right.
We have it covered, folks. Don't worry.
So this is action plan time. So this is action
Yes.
time. So we need to. So today I will extend the invite for Joel. We
Hmm.
agree on Joel, Joel,
Yes.
Joel, and Robert.
Joel and
So
Robert.
we're on
Yes.
the 11th. We need to create the first event is February 12th. We need to decide on a so one of the things that Fernando is going to have to do is Fernando is going to have to no, it's going to be live. It's not pre-recorded, so we're good. They're going live on the February 19th. So what I really want to do is once Robert has accepted that and everything, and Fernando is
Hmm.
kind of like on the same page of what he wants to do, I really want him to get connected with Robert, and I want him to get connected with Joel separately. So
Hmm.
kind of like he's kind of familiar with them, and he kind of
Hmm.
knows how they operate and things of that nature.
Definitely. I guess just basically having just a one-on-one intro meeting, getting to know each other, what to expect, that type of deal.
Right.
I think that's also an opportunity to reintroduce the different topics that will be discussed and what they can expect.
Mhm. So Fernando, um, Xavier, and myself, we are going to need to document the topics that we want to be discussed. Fernando, whenever I will provide you information, I have more information about Robert than I do of Joel. So Joel's just gonna have to provide that information and kind of like and then talk to you too as well. So we
Mhm.
have the second event. The second event is basically what that is. Our first event is February 12th. That's going to be pre-recorded. So we need to decide on a window time frame on when that's going to be. Last meeting, we discussed that February 8th, we will begin pre-recording
Mhm.
um, for this. So we want to stay consistent with that date.
Definitely.
All right, so February 8th will be pre-recording date, and the pre-recording will launch on the 12th. Robert Hart, I believe that Fernando will need to kind of get acclimated with Robert or Joel between well, he has a whole month to do it. You have a whole freaking month, man. So so once you're ready, once we provide you with the information and you're ready to meet with them, then I will discuss, but I will put that in my invite to them too as well. Is that we kind of want you to get familiar with Fernando and all of this. Xavier, when I want to do the personalized emails to each one of the people that we're inviting. When do we want to send out emails?
To the people for the actual event. Okay. At least 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks before the first series. 3 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks.
So you want the first series is on the 12th. So you want on the 25th? Monday the 25th?
Yeah, I think that works. That way it'll give us time, give us that week to see if we get any responses, and the next week to be able to follow up or send reminders those last 2 weeks before. How does that sound?
Yeah, I agree with you. And I will be sending out those messages through mail merge, so that everybody gets their personalized email. All right. So just let me make sure I cover everything. Well, we got it for the first series. Second series, I just need the confirmation of Robert and Joel and making sure that they are available for that date and time. Another thing that we need to be aware of. I will say this, Robert, I did mention that he may cost money. I'm not going to present that idea to him. If he presents it to us,
we have to go from there.
We would have to pay Joel too as well. And that would just be, I feel, let me be clear, I feel bad because I'm like, he's amazing. Like I know he's worth every bit of it. And I'll feel bad for not even doing it. But I just want to know what his mindset is if he would do it for free. But we would have to do one, we would have to do both if we're gonna do that.
I think I'm really hoping that we don't have to take that route, because at the end of the day, I feel like, I mean, this is where he came from, and that's like saying, "Oh, my mom raised me, but I'm about to go tell her she needs to go pay for all of these sessions just for me to come back home." You get it? It's like a homecoming, you know?
Yeah.
You don't go pay, to go back home.
I get you. So, I'm going to extend the invite today or tomorrow. I guarantee today. I'll do either tonight or tomorrow. And it will be at an appropriate time because I'm good for sending emails. I still do that to this day at work. So, okay. I really need to know, and this is not immediately, but I really want to know a more structured process to series 3.
Definitely.
So
I think we definitely have time to think about that a little bit more, going into this next week, being able to take time to brainstorm and to detail what else we can bring forth for that series.
So in the meantime, in between time, we need to discuss when we will be available for the pre-recording, what that will look like. We're going to be in B4B attire. What we're gonna do for that. Fernando, this is a great time for you to provide your feedback on WhatsApp about kind of like what you thought about our commentary. We've decided that we're going to go live for series 2, pre-recorded series 1 and 3. We're going live to that too as well. Xavier, you are amazing. I appreciate you so much. I always tell you how much I appreciate you because I really do. You and Fernando, but definitely, I have a very deep appreciation for you. So
you're likewise as well.
Yes, because I know I'll tell you, and I know I'm extending over the time, but I know that life is happening.
Yeah,
life is happening, and you just can't ask anybody to do this. It takes a very special person. So again, I appreciate the both of you so much for doing this, and enjoy your time. All right. We're going to have a great event. Thank you so much. And you can view it on YouTube. Did you forget we were on?
Oh no, I've been looking at it. It's right in my face. But one more thing, I don't think we decided on an invitation platform. Maybe we can discuss that in WhatsApp, going into what platform we would like to use.
So definitely it's going to be through general email, but
Correct.
I like the Hobnob.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'll send a link to it of it, and so that we can go look into it a little bit more. If that's not what we're looking for, we can definitely see what Microsoft or Google Forms is about.
Okay. Fernando, please let me know once you see this video so that I can mark this video as private because everybody and their mama can see this video. Okay. All right. Everybody and their mama can see this video. Well, they can't, they don't have access to it, but I'm just saying you don't know who can see the video. So as soon as he sees this video, he needs to let me know so I can put it on private.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, let's do it. Oh, wait.